I'm going to talk about Clark Richert, an artist who ought to be here today. He's kind of an inspiration for me, and in fact, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Clark. I know probably Mark Pelletier and I never would have met if it hadn't been for Clark, and Zone Tool wouldn't exist. He's really something, and I have the honor of working with him. He's actually got an interesting background. He started what came to be known the first hippie commune in the United States. I've probably mentioned that before in previous talks. Drop City, which was built in Colorado out of car tops that they hacked off the top of junk cars for 25 cents a piece, and they would screw them together. And it actually got Buckminster Fuller's Dymaxion Award in 1969 and generated some interesting architecture, some advanced architecture. So he also collaborated with Steve Baer on the development of the 31-zone system. When Clark was done with it, was the 61-zone system, which is the basis of zone tool geometry. And he also was working with these fat and skinny, I think it's in here, next one. Yeah, you can see the painting in the background of this larger painting, these fat and skinny rhombuses that tile in interesting ways long before Roger Penrose started working with them. Now, Penrose will be quick to point out that Clark didn't come up with any matching rules. And Clark's often accused of being a mathematician, to which he says, "I am not a mathematician." Mathematicians have to prove stuff, and artists don't have to prove anything. So that's why I would prefer to be an artist, because I'd rather just glory. You know, if I was preaching and today was Sunday, I think that's what artists do. They really just worship by creating kind of dim, low-resolution images of the fractal, which is our entire universe, the creation of God. So let me move along here. This just gives you an idea of one of Clark's exhibitions. This one was actually going from 0 to 8 dimensions, or I think maybe 10 dimensions. Unfortunately, I can't see all the paintings, but we don't have time for that. In fact, I'm halfway through. So I would say personally, now I'm very biased, and I'm not really an expert on art either, but I would compare Clark Richert's art with that of Marcel Duchamp. This is a special painting, obviously. It's very important to the 20th century because I would say this is the first intentional four-dimensional painting that's ever been made. Why is it four-dimensional? Well, it's pretty obvious, right? Anybody want to say? Yeah. What makes it four-dimensional, though? Yeah. The fact is, if you look closely at the image, you get the idea that you can see the entire body of the nude, right, front and back. Right, so you're getting more than this kind of 2.05D image that you normally get with stereoscopic vision, and you also get the element of time. So it's a three-dimensional image with a four-dimensional element, all captured on a two-dimensional canvas, and that's what Clark is doing in his paintings. And I wanted to move on to this is a recent thing that he discovered, or at least if other people know about this, please let me know because he'd love to know. You can decompose the rhombic aneaconahedron, you know, the 90-sided figure that looks like a big sphere that's covered with Penrose tiles, into these rhombic dodecahedra. And they pack together in interesting ways, which you can make this kind of crystal city, which is a little bit reminiscent of Bruno Taut's Stadtkrone. And as far as I know, Bruno Taut was the first architect ever to do a zonahedral structure. But if you look at it from the top, you get a... What is it? Well, it's a Penrose tiling, right? I mean, there's those extra lines in there, but if you look at the outsides of the colored tiles, you've got fat and skinny diamonds again. So this is really just an advertisement for Clark's latest project, which is sort of like Drop City 2. He calls it Area, and it's going to be next to my house on another 4 acres of land. I live on about an area that has about 14 acres of agricultural land that's moderately developable. So it's going to be a co-housing project for artists. The area stands for, so you can read, Artists Residential Environmental Area. So I'll leave it at that. But if you're interested in joining this, I could tell you some of the, let me just see if I've got them here. Clarke's principles are beauty, form follows function, harmonious relationships with the land, that is non-polluting and energy positive, extremely affordable housing units. He wants to get the cost down to $50,000 a piece. That'll be interesting. Community, which means diversity to him, visionary, and he wants to do farming. And so it's going to be an agricultural co-op, artists co-housing community. Sound like fun? Talk to me. Okay, also I'd like to mention that Clarke's paintings are embarrassingly cheap these days, you know, in the 4 to 5 digits, and it's disturbing and also enticing to my way of looking at it. So if you're interested in getting one of his paintings, I can talk to you too. You're probably interested in what the structure would have looked like if we got off the ground the other day at the Sculpture Day. This is not it. This is what it might evolve into. The Hildebrandt is what Chaim Goodman Strauss called it. But we're going to do that at Bridges Soul. It'll be the anti-drone, a radio-controlled thing that'll deliver your drink and ask for permission before it takes your picture.